Okay, all right. First, I'm looking at the account, so might need a little bit of your help. How long ago did you start running ads?
Oh, I think this one was from like December or January of last year until now.
Oh, okay, like 2024 January.
Yeah, I had another
Nice.
campaign. I've been running them since like 2023, I think. But
Okay, got it. I'll just go here for now. Okay, and then yeah, just give me 1 minute just to kind of take a look at everything and soak it in for a second.
yeah,
Is there a specific campaign that you focused on more this year, or is it just going to be? Let me check. I might even
uh,
be able to tell by the cost. It's going to be these two. Looks
yeah,
like this one's off. So okay,
yeah, those two.
okay. So I'm assuming this one's the one that you've been using for like most of this year.
It is, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the conversions have been obviously finicky though. I only set them up like a month ago, and then maybe I did it a
Oh,
while back too. I don't know. They're all fucked up though.
oh, got it. Okay, yeah, conversion tracking super super important.
Yeah,
Okay, and you know that you have set it up correctly as far as you know. Is that right?
I believe so. I believe all my ads are good. I believe all the ad groups are good. Like I watch the scores and I watch, make sure they're relevant to the landing pages and all that stuff. So from what I think, I don't know.
Nice. Okay. That's good. Okay. Okay. So is this what you're using
That is
compared
what I'm
to?
trying to use right now. Yeah, is the booked appointment and it sends it to a thank you page.
Perfect. Okay, that's the best way to do it. So what's the difference between that conversion action and this one right here?
So that one is a form fill that also gets put to a different thank you page.
Okay, and is this like Google's landing, or I'm sorry, Google's lead form extension, or is this also on your website?
Uh,
This form right here.
it's a lead form that's on my website.
Okay, got it. Okay, but just to make sure, so these are different. This
They
comes
are.
from a different form.
Yes, they both trigger different thank you pages.
Okay, got it, got it. Okay, and is this something that you want to include, like in your conversion tracking? Like, is this a lead form you want people to fill out?
Honestly, so the way it's set up is the home page has the form like the lead form they can fill out.
Hmm.
But I've seen like competitors only putting their ads going to like packages pages, so they have like all the packages and they can book it right away. And they're
Right.
doing a little better than I was, so I thought to give it a try. But the only way I can get those forms if I send them to the home page of the website. I know that sometimes that's not the best thing to do. There's too much to look at, too much information, right?
Yeah, got it. Okay, I see. Yeah, because the only reason why I'm asking here, let me see. I'm just trying to pull this up. I have your website on my other screen here. I'm just looking at. Only reason why I ask is because you have it as a secondary. So
Yeah.
if it's secondary, it's only going to be observed and not actually recorded. So just so you know. So if you wanted to like add that into the mix and have it come up as a conversion here on this, you will have to make it primary, just so you know.
I do. Honestly, the most important thing is bookings. Like lead forms are great, but they can find all that information like through the packages and prices. Like they usually ask, "Hey, I have a car, how much?" When if they,
Mhm.
send them to the packages pages that answers the question for them and they can just book it.
Okay, so when someone books, are they actually physically like putting their card information in and paying for it there?
They are not. If you click any of the
Okay.
book buttons on the website, it'll bring up an
Okay.
embedded software that I have.
Okay, I see. Okay, so someone selects it, but they don't pay till after.
They don't pay until the detail is finished.
Okay, and then do you guys take payment in person, or how does that work?
We do. We take we have a machine, like machines that we run with, and we also do like e-transfer invoice.
Okay, perfect. Okay, the only reason why I was asking is because sometimes I run into people who are doing like lead forms and like they say they're doing lead gen or booked appointments. And then if someone's actually putting in their card and making a payment, you could typically use like a dynamic value tracking to like if you're collecting payment. But if you're not, then no problem. I just was curious.
Hmm.
Okay, perfect. Okay, good to know, man. Okay, well let me just take a look then here. Give me a minute to just kind of take all this in real quick and look at the metrics. This is of course my first time looking at the account. So
Hmm.
let me just have at it real quick. And do you not really care to go for phone calls at all?
I would, yeah. I don't think that that'd be an issue at all. Like whatever you
Okay.
think.
Yeah, phone calls are fantastic. I recommend using a software called CallRail. and it directly integrates with Google Ads and makes it a call conversion. And all the calls can be recorded if you want. It'll also pick up on the phone call what keyword they searched up, and it just immediately integrates with Google Ads, so you can mark it as a conversion. Don't have to mess with it or anything.
Okay, cool.
Okay. There it is. Okay. Yeah, and you said that what? Do you know like when last month you set up the conversion tracking by chance?
A solid week to look at would be Friday to Friday. So
Like right here, you're saying, or before?
let me just I took it as a note because I was just trying to compare. Let me just see exactly when I stopped it, and it was a week before that. So there's a full week of straight conversions.
Okay.
That would have
Yeah, that
been it would have ended on Wednesday night, and it would have been from the Wednesday before. So 2 days ago, it was a week long. So that would have been from
The 3rd to the 10th.
the 3rd to the 10th would have
Okay,
been. I
got
had
it.
it on conversions.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, because I just want to look in here because it's the thing that makes it the hardest is if someone doesn't have conversion tracking set up and I open up the time frame, it's going to be like, oh wow, all these conversions cost a lot because they were never being tracked, or like it's hard
Exactly.
to tell your actual conversion rate because it was never there either. Okay, so let's see. Okay. I just see. Got it. Okay, I'm just taking a look at everything here. Because you have it set up in the way that I set up. So did you take anything into account of like my YouTube videos of how to set up ad groups, or did you just do all this on your own?
I watched a guy called I think it was like Downey Marketing. And this was
Okay,
like
gotcha.
probably a year ago, and that's how I learned how to set it up and all the ad groups and negative keywords and all that stuff.
Yeah, okay, got it. Okay, cool. Cool. Because what I'm seeing here, just off of the first stuff here, so I guess one of the most important reasons to have it set up where you have this is called stags, right? So it's single theme ad groups. So you have an ad group for like everything, which is amazing. That's exactly what I do too. But honestly, when it comes down to just like searches and like those search like theme categories, you can definitely see like a huge array of success, right? So as you take a look right here, you're seeing that as well, right? Like even this one right here, cost per conversion, 170, 125, 27, 43, 11, right? And then these, none of these got any spend. So how this works is, and this is like the way to actually scale and crack the code when you already have Stag set up, is you just have to basically look at these and like look at which ones are performing and which ones aren't. And also one thing you have to note, or I guess realize, is your campaign is at your budget is at a campaign level, no matter what, right? So Google charges per click. So even if something isn't as good, like for instance, like, this Halifax ad group, even though it's not converting the best compared to one of these, this is still going to get the most spend. And as you can see, it has, because the keywords happen to be the most popular. There happens to be the most keyword volume for those searches. So that's
right.
where all the spend is going to go, right?
Yeah.
So same exact thing happens like in a location, right? Like, are you familiar like with Los Angeles, California?
Not familiar. No, I wouldn't say.
Okay, what about like New York City?
Yeah,
New York?
I don't. Yeah.
Right. Okay, so if you were running ads for New York City and then a bunch of like the little like surrounding cities, even if New York City is not, your best location for cost per conversion, that's still where all the spend is going to go, because your locations and your budget are at a campaign level, right?
Yeah.
So it's like an umbrella. So when you start seeing information like this, one of the quickest things you could do, honestly, would be to cut this one off. Like I would recommend just pausing this one because obviously, you know, this isn't your goal, and you know, you only have one conversion, so it's not like a ton of data to go through, but that is a pretty low conversion rate compared to, you know, what you're seeing here with already some more success. And of course, you know, if you got even one other conversion to help here, that would dramatically reduce the numbers. But you know, when you're spending what, $50 a day, I think I remember.
Yeah, I was. Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. And especially like seeing like these cost per clicks and just everything else, like I would just recommend just pausing this campaign, because right when you pause the ad group, right when you pause the ad group that has the most spend in it, if it's not converting, now it has to go from like down to here, right?
I know
Because
it's super hard to track before because I didn't have the conversion set up, but that the Halifax group there is definitely the most searched keyword in all of my area. Like that's like the number one, I guess, right? So
yeah, I'm seeing that just based on cost, because like that's where most of the budget's going, right?
yeah.
But just because that has the most volume, it doesn't mean it's the best for you. And I know we're only looking at a week, and that's what makes it really hard. Like typically you'd want to look at more time frames than just a week. Yeah. But seeing that you have other numbers here, like this is quite a bit better. So even though this is the most searched, you have a ton more success with this, right? So wouldn't it be more beneficial to give this more spend?
Yeah, right? I honestly didn't know you could do that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So there's a couple ways to do it, right? So when I kind of coined the term. I don't know what you call it besides just, you know, saying it what it is, but I call it dividing and conquering. So like, let's say that you wanted to, because right as we saw here, basically only these 3 ad groups are getting any spend, right? These 3 right here. The other ones here, if you look down, I'm going to use my screener here. If you look down at the cost, like these ones, I wouldn't really consider getting much spend, right? Like that's pretty low. So these are never going to get any more spend really, just because of the amount of volume is more based on these keywords for these 3 ad groups. So what you can do is you can duplicate this exact same campaign. And in this original campaign, you can pause all the ones that are down here and let this go, right? Because then all the spend's going to go to these 3 like it already is. But then in the second duplicated campaign, you would leave all these on and pause these 3 and give this second duplicated campaign its own budget, because now you'd be forcing spend to these. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So you can do that, but for you, that's not the most important right now. Or that's just like a way to test more things, give things more ad spend, depending on the situation. But for your situation, because that your top 2 ad groups are, you know, converting at such a high cost per conversion, I would honestly just try without them. That's what I would do. Yes, they're the most searched, but honestly, man, who cares? Your whole goal is to get, you know, more conversions that are like around these numbers, right? Yeah. $11, $27, $40. And of course, again, and I'm going to preface, this is not a ton of data to go through, so it makes it a little bit harder, but you know, this is what we have. So this isn't, even if you got, you know, another conversion right now for this one, it would still put you at, you know, almost $90 a conversion. That's still much higher than these, right? And so the spend is just going to keep going here due to volume. So I would 100% recommend pausing these 2 is basically what I would do.
The main thing I was going to do was I was trying to get these conversions locked in and kind of see where my money's going, because eventually I'd love to have a $200 a day budget, right? Like I'm trying to grow the company. So it's like, I kind of want to get it down packed before I start giving it a bunch of money.
Yeah. So then what you need to do, especially if you want to scale, like are you only going to increase the budget if like the ads are profitable for you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So at this state, like it's not, right? Like, do you want to keep paying $120 plus per booking?
Absolutely not.
Right. So this is something that you can introduce again later. Like once you're at scale. So see, like when you also look, do you know what search impression share means?
I do.
So this also takes into account, like this shows me that there's like a good amount of this market left, right? Like even for the one that's the most searched, like you mentioned, was the Halifax related keywords, and that's where most of your budget's going. You still are only getting 50% of the impression share and only 23% of the click share. So there's a lot of market here, right? So if you want to do this,
able to possibly run me through the auction insights for this week, and then maybe like for like a couple months, just to like, because that's what I always look at, right? I obsess over an absolute top of page rate, and like I'm trying to be that number 1 guy at all times, right? So I don't know if I'm looking at it all wrong, or are my competitors just demolishing me? I don't know.
Well, I honestly wouldn't look at that too much. to be quite honest with you. The way that I like to do this too, I think I have to unclick it. I like to look at this right here. So this is where you are. So Vroom Crew and Detailed Image, I'm sure you're familiar with those guys.
Not the one under me, but the one above I am.
Yeah. So I like to use this graph instead of like looking at the tab, because I think the tab is just hard to understand. But yeah, like top of page, like you're pretty up there. But I really wouldn't put as much of an emphasis on that as I would like your cost per conversion. That's really all that matters. Dude, even if you were down here, but you were getting $10 cost per conversions all day, like would you really care?
No, I wouldn't give a shit.
Yeah, exactly. So I wouldn't worry about that part too much, because your ads are fine. Like as we looked at the auction insights, like you're up there, like you are playing, like you are in there, with everyone else. But the biggest
Now, if
number
you
to
take
focus
that
on,
into account, sorry to cut you off. If you take that into
you're
account, and then you go and you change the timeline from like the last 6 months, do you think it was doing better in terms of just auction insights for the max clicks, or does that not matter because what you want is conversions? Like if you change the date, I think I'm the first. Like I have the best metrics for everything: impression share, top of page, all that.
Right, yeah, and that's a really good question. But the only problem, and the only reason why I almost don't even want to look, is because all this data is going to be so messed up, right?
Yeah.
Like conversion tracking is number one. Because if I open up that time frame, no matter what your auction insights show, we're not going to have any information here. So dude, it almost just doesn't really matter. I would look at this stuff a lot more, to be honest. This is what I would be hyper fixating over for sure. So the best things I have for you is especially while you're spending this money, right? You can see that out of $500, you had, well, can we just say this is $300? You had, was that 66% of your ad spend go towards these right here? So if you pause those and give these a chance, I would be very interested to see how that goes, right? Obviously, like if I look at these ones down here, these are going to be different because they haven't had any spend at all. So you could get any array of numbers, but the big one is just going to be like these ones. Like I would love to see what happens when those get more spend, because these are like your winners as of this small time frame, right?
So do you think that me taking it off of max clicks a couple days ago was a bad decision?
Yes,
sorry,
definitely.
putting it back to max clicks.
No, I don't. I think that was the good decision, because you typically don't want to take it away from max clicks and switch to max conversions until you've got at least 20 to 30 conversions a month to switch to. So the fact that you just now set it up correctly and you're taking that step back to do things right, I think that going to max clicks was the good call for sure.
I'm not sure how many conversions was. If you check the last 30 days, I might have had it on before too. I'm not even sure.
Yeah, 18. So I would still keep it on max clicks.
Okay. See,
but it depends. Like, yes, but are these accurate though? Because that's the most important thing.
Those I had the tracking set up, but it scared me off because some of them were giving me like high cost per click. But that Halifax group seems to be doing a little bit better on.
Yeah, so this is why looking at timeframes is important. But when you mentioned that only the last 7 days, I wasn't sure. Sorry, I guess I didn't realize that you still had some data from like the last little bit too. So as long as these conversions are accurate, then yes, of course, that still changes things. But as you can see here, these ones are still pretty expensive for you. These ones are still, this is still okay. This is good. This is good. And then, yeah, this one's fine, but these are still pretty expensive, right? So I would, of course, if these are accurate, then yes, use a bigger time frame, absolutely. But I would just take this into account of like what's costing you the most. Like Dartmouth, I would say pause that right now, and then I would even say car detailing, potentially, I would probably pause it just because you would want your spend going to more of these. So that's my recommendation, is I would pause those two. And then a bigger thing to look at too, again, don't have a massive time frame here, but I would definitely look at your actual like locations themselves, right? So I see you have everything in here because again, your locations and your budget are always at a campaign level. So again, like same thing with the New York City example. If you're using New York City and a bunch of cities around it, New York City is probably going to hog all the spend because it has the most volume there. So I always like to do that same thing with locations, right? So these guys aren't going to have as much spend, but like as you can see, there's a dramatic difference in cost per conversion here.
For sure.
Some areas are costing you a lot more, and that can have a lot of factors, right? Like for me right here, I'm in Phoenix, Arizona, right here, right? This area has a lot more money than this area and this area and this area, right? But if I was to just click on, Phoenix, it would include all this. Or if I was to do Scottsdale, it would do all of this, right? So you have like your locations handpicked. So now it's almost your time to like watch those, right? Because one of the mobile auto detailers I have here in Phoenix, it's we have it set up for a reason, like different areas of different cities, I guess. But since you really only have one conversion for each of these, just keep an eye on it. And then as it actually develops, like you're going to see some of these numbers like really sticking. Like you can, if you get more volume here, which you're going to because there's a lot of clicks here. But if this doesn't change, like this is a location you could cut out. So not even changing any keywords, but removing potentially less affluent area or less interested area or less serious area is going to help you a lot too. So just even removing those locations.
Another so your recommendation for now would be to turn it back on conversions.
No, not yet.
Oh, keep it the way it is.
You still only have 18 in the last 30 days. I'd give it a little bit more time. Yeah.
Okay. Is the conversion set up right? It says there's like a message beside it for the booking conversion.
Yeah. It looks like I said it needs attention.
I tried to fix that as well, and I don't think I was able to fix it.
Oh, it's still recording. It just wants you to switch to enhanced conversions is all. So you can do that if you'd like, but it's just going to tell you that because that's what Google wants you to do. But it's still recording, so just keep that in mind. But yeah, man, that's what I would do is I would just keep an eye on that. One thing you can also do too is take a look at this too, right? Because you have what's called a luxury service, right? You're not a plumber where someone's toilet's backed up, flowing all over the ground. Someone's not locked out of their house, but people buy this because they want to, right? So when it comes to more luxury stuff, again, typically the more affluent areas and stuff works better. So you can always see like cost per conversion here. I want to just do individual. Here we go. You can see where your cost per conversion is here, just based off even people too. So like as you can see right here, like your range, is like obviously like, and this makes perfect sense, right? Like this age of 35 to 55, that makes perfect sense, right? Then as you start to get younger right here, costs even more expensive. And right here, these guys aren't too bad, but even just 65 plus is $221 average cost per conversion for you. So even you just removing the ages of 65 plus would help you even there too, based off this data. Again, it's not a ton of data, but like these are all the little things to be looking for. Now that you have conversion set up and like you're going to let some stuff spend, is kind of see how this number plays out. Same thing, like with looking at these ad groups, see how these play out. Because right now you have everything set up super broad, right? You got all your locations, you have all your ad groups, you have everything, and it's out. So now you just have to see where the money goes and where you want to remove, and just basically what I like to call just like trim fat is basically what you'll be doing, is trimming fat.
I had a question about this, where it says other search terms. What does that mean? Because I can't see them.
Yeah, wait, where are you looking?
If you go to the bottom, it'll show you, like it shows you all the search terms, but it'll say other search terms. It was 218, right?
Yeah, and this is what's annoying is unfortunately Google just doesn't show you every single search, which is a super big bummer, but it can be for a lot of reasons. If someone's using like ad blocker or an incognito tab or an unregistered device or something like that, that's also what comes up, like when someone is like unknown. Right? When we went to the audiences here, there's like an unknown demographic. That's part of it too. So yeah, so you're not gonna get everyone, but like on average, you're probably gonna still get like 2/3 of your searches to be here. But yeah, so this is like all this too. Like your traffic is super relevant because I see that you weren't using any broad match keywords. So that's really good.
Yeah.
So yeah, so all this traffic is hyper relevant. So that's good too. Just wanted to check on that. But yeah, man, you have things set up really good where you're at. I would trim 2 of these, and I would just keep your eye on things, and then potentially remove a location or 2 here in the future. But everything else looks pretty good, man. Click share, impression share, you can probably triple your budget and still be playing the game really good and still getting a lot of leads.
That'd be the goal for sure. With the landing pages where I send the people from the ads too. I used to, see how there's like all the ad groups. It's like Halifax, Dartmouth, auto detailing, mobile, Bedford. I actually have specific pages for those. Should I be sending those ad groups to those pages, or should I be sending them all to the homepage? Or
yeah, I saw that, and really, you just would have to just split test it and see, because like for instance, when I look at like the mobile detailing ad group, that seems to be converting great. And then that just goes to your homepage. And then when I look at this one right here, right, this takes people to the specific page, and this seems to be doing okay as well. So
I changed them actually all to that specific page.
oh, did you? Okay.
I did.
Yeah. I mean, well, I think I still saw one that was just your homepage. I'm almost positive. Unless this, let's see, this just, oh yeah. Oh, detailing packages. Okay, it is the same. Let me see. Detailing. Okay, nice. Because I clicked on one, and I don't remember which one it was, but it opened up your homepage. Unless I'm tripping, but I don't know how else I would have got there. But let me take a look. Oh yeah, this one right here just takes you to your homepage. By the way, it's this ad right here. This ad.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that goes right to your homepage, but it still seems to be doing okay. Like again, when it comes to that, it's all just about split testing. But especially since you haven't been getting conversions for too long, and it looks like you're having like a wide range of results, I would just take a look at them. Like, so for instance, you're sending people to your homepage here, and you're getting, you know, $36 conversions. So keep that in mind, right?
I would love to narrow it down to like 30 or 35 CPA. Because then at that point, when it's more like I can kind of say what I spend per booking, then I can kind of say, okay, let's double, triple, quadruple the budget, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and then as you start to spend too, and you increase your budgets, you're going to run into other problems. So you might want to set up like a target CPA in the future, or like a target cost per click. But those are going to be more for the future, because these cost per clicks are pretty cheap, which is awesome. Especially for someone using Phrase and Exact, couple dollar clicks is fantastic. So probably wouldn't need to do that, but probably be like a target CPA once you really get going. But right now, while you're seeing ad groups, you know, with super mixed results, like some of these are 164 and some of these are 36. So that's why trimming like the outlier fat is the most important now. And then once you have things locked in, then you're like, hey, Google, I don't want conversions for more than $40 or $30 or $25, right? And then you can start to see how that affects your budget, your impression share, because now you're going to be more selective on who you show your ads to. So the auction insights and everything else isn't going to matter, but it's going to make sure that you're still able to, you want to make sure that you're still able to fully spend your daily budget while still getting your results, right? Because if you're like, hey, Google, we want $10 cost per conversions, you will all of a sudden stop spending because Google's not able to find those people. And then it's only showing it to the people that it does think are going to do it. And it's not going to be very many people, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So just leave it for now and let it go.
Yeah, I would still trim some fat here. Like this one's pretty good. You could even just pause these like temporarily too, because at your stage too, it just depends on how aggressive you want to be. Like if I get a brand new client for myself and it's month one, like I would have made these adjustments like right now, because like I need to prove myself to the client that I can get them results, and we're not here to just like spend someone's money, right? Yeah. So it's totally up to you and how aggressive you want to be. Like these are like, I mean, we just talked about $210+ conversions. It's just out of what you want, right?
It is super hard to look at this as well, because there was only maybe a week and a half to 2 weeks worth of it actually being on conversions. Like some of this time also was spent on that click. So that's why it's super hard. But if I leave it now and let it go, we probably have a better example of what's actually going on.
Sure. Yeah, I agree. It just depends how aggressive you want to be. You know, like you could very easily cut this, see how things go, and you can also very easily re-enable it. So when it just, again, it's up to how aggressive you want to be, how much you care about this spend. And like, again, for me, when I'm dealing with clients, like I need to prove to them that I can get them results, So I tend to act pretty quick on stuff like this, because again, you can always re-add it. Because the worst case scenario, is that you just get spent to these other ad groups that are doing, better for you. So it's totally up to you. But that's my recommendation, is watch your ad groups, trim the fat, trim the location fat, and then once you trim all the fat and you start to see steady results at a number that you kind of like, then start being more aggressive with the target CPA and telling Google what you want to get them for. That's my recommendation for you.